Welcome to Module 4, Manage the Project. So we basically have the project sketched out. I don't know if you have it all the way, the meat and potatoes of it, but at least you have a skeleton. You know what standards, you know how you're going to assess, you know your driving question, you know your supporting questions. Now, what happens when things get messy and the project really gets going? What we're going to focus on for this module is the driving question, what to do if the students don't get it and what to do for those who do. We're going to be working through how to keep the project moving forward, to offer support for those that need that extra support, and how to enrich those that are ready to move on. Just like always, here are the standards, the Iowa teaching standards that we are going to be using throughout this module. Here are your objectives and then your I can statements. And at this point of the game, I can say that you're probably pretty close to saying, I can do all of these. Okay, get ready. This is where you found the screencast. Then click here to launch the entry event, which is managing the project. Well, how do you keep all your, what's the saying, the squirrels are all over the place? That's really what it's going to be like. Here's a few ideas how you can manage that. The workbook study, manage the project. Same idea. I really appreciate this. 3 ways to manage the messy part. There's a forum there to check out. The learning module, obviously, is where everything is really, where we spend a lot of our time, a lot of the learning happens. Managing the project, go ahead and go through this just like usual. We're going to be taking a look at high school and elementary, how they manage projects. Think about how you're going to group your students. There's just different ways to ensure that you're grouping them purposefully. You don't just number off. When I was at the Buck Institute in Napa, they said a coach doesn't go up to his players and go offense, defense, offense, defense, offense, defense, as they're standing in a line. Rather, they are looking at their traits and their qualities and where should they be playing. And that's what we need to do when we think about group creation. Next one is, again, Twitter. Spend some time with some synchronous learning as much as possible. Then we'll dive into some more readings. I want you to be thinking about the 4 C's. When we're managing the project, if we give them a recipe, say do step 1, do step 2, do step 3, there's nothing for them to think critically about. There's no problem for them to solve. Without those elements, we don't have a project-based unit. So make sure we're keeping those in mind. So I revisited them in this unit. If you want, you can take a look at how we are working with our universal constructs there. Just some more 4 C's conversations. And then we're going to dive into some application of your learning with the 4 C's. Just some questions for you to think about when you're developing your unit and really finalizing a few things through the managing the project. Then we're going to dive into Module 4, Culmination Reflection. Lastly, last part of the week, we'll end with hopefully some synchronous conversations with Twitter. So as you go back through here, just want to reiterate a few things. Actually you'll find it here, overall goals. If you go through the overall goals for today, for this module, putting all the pieces of the proficiency scales within the unit template, devise a plan for group work, double check your unit for incorporation of the 4 C's. So, as usual, let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Feel free to reach out.